You know that feeling when your day finally slows down and you just want to relax, unplug, and feel good? That's where Mood.com comes in. They're changing the game, delivering legal THC products right to your door, no shady dealers, and absolutely no medical card required, just good vibes and better sleep, shipped straight from their farm to your couch. From delicious THC gummies, smooth vape pens, to premium THC flower, Mood has it all. And everything's federally legal under the 2018 Farm Bill. Yeah, this isn't some loophole. It's the real deal. Head to Mood.com and use code FIRST20 for 20% off your first order. That's MOOD.com. Find your mood.
Ever feel like your WordPress site is moving in slow motion? Switch to Kinsta's managed hosting for WordPress and watch it fly. Host your site on Google Cloud's fastest servers with worldwide data centers so your pages load instantly. Need help? WordPress experts respond in under 2 minutes and will migrate to your site for free. Try it yourself. First month free at Kinsta.com. That's KINSTA.com. Kinsta. Simply better hosting.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Welcome to Uncluttered and Unfiltered, the podcast urging you to let it go and don't look back. With nationally acclaimed professional organizer Christine Stone and self-proclaimed hot damn mess radio and TV personality Eden Kendall.
Welcome, everyone, to Uncluttered and Unfiltered. We're the podcast for women over 50. I'm Eden, and Christine Stone is with me, professional organizer. And like every episode starting last week and moving forward, she will have a nice, juicy tidbit for you on organizing at the end of the episode, right?
Yes. Every episode, I'm going to give you just one little tip on how to start organizing. So every week you need to listen because I see this all the time. So I'm sharing it with you.
And we do have entire episodes that focus on maybe one section of the house. And if you go back through our library, you'll find those. We have a ladies only Facebook group, and we asked you recently, let me read it to you as I wrote it. Ladies, for an upcoming episode, which is of course this one, did you experience a perimenopausal meltdown where you either did something drastic or came close to it, blowing up a relationship, quitting a job, something that was likely, looking back, driven by hormones? Let us know in the comments. And you guys came through as you typically do. Trudy was telling us a little bit about how, over the age of 35, she was starting to get all kinds of laundry list of symptoms and things like that. And she would take it out on other people. And we had Angelique who messaged us saying that it was really like a storm. Just everything going on was like a storm. Nancy also commented and said that she was really in the midst of it because she had her only child at the age of 44 and then went immediately into menopause.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Poor Nancy. Poor Nancy.
Oh my gosh.
So this is something that even during that Oprah special, they discussed. And what they talked about was that there was like a high number of divorce cases that were attributed to perimenopause.
Yep. And I brought this up to you because I feel like when I was in perimenopause, I was just there were times I was super happy, but then I was a time bomb about to explode. I think that people do not talk about perimenopause well, back then they didn't talk about it at all. It was like, sorry, you have to wait till you don't get a period for your year. Good luck and have a nice life. And you're like, what? Of course, now people do talk about it, and they're trying to be more open about it, and they're trying to help people that are going through it, which I think is fabulous. But I could see, can't you see, going through that and saying, like, your husband like moves a fork a certain way, you're like, oh my God, that's it, we're done.
Can't live with you.
Right, I can't
live like this anymore. Can't do it. Or, I mean, I've had friends who, ended marriages over that kind of thing. Like, we're like brother and sister now because, you know why? Because perimenopause, you have no sexual feelings. It's not him, it's you.
Right.
And listen, I know there are situations. We're not here to sit there and judge whether or not you made a mistake or something because you ended a marriage. I mean, certainly there are a lot of reasons where you had to, or maybe you did it and you're way better off for it. But I remember going through a phase like in my, I want to say mid 40s where I definitely wasn't, my focus was more on myself than it probably, really what needed my attention then were my family. My family needed more attention. The kids are in high school. My son was kind of goofing off. There was all kinds of things where my focus really should have been. And I was all about, just let's go hang out with friends and let's do, I just think that was looking back, but there were some definite things that menopause did. And a lot of people don't know my story exactly, where I was working in radio and then I was working in radio and TV simultaneously. And then one had to go. And I was like, one's a lot more work. I have to get ready and get pretty every day and blah, blah, blah. So I quit. And when I started to regret it, and after 2.5 years, it worked out where I was able to resume that position and leave the radio. But my point is, I think menopause had a lot to do with me making that decision to leave TV. I came back to it, but I think that I was feeling ugly. I was feeling old. I was feeling worn out. And so I blew up a pretty good situation. It worked out beautifully, but I just exploded it. I was like, I just can't do it anymore. People are like, are you crazy? That is such a good job. I'm like, I just don't want to see myself on camera. I don't want to have people message me about what I wore today. I just couldn't take it.
That would be tough. That would be tough.
Right at menopause.
But I also think, I think women in general, at some point in their life, feel like blowing up their life. Like, whether they have toddlers running around and they haven't washed their hair in, 2 weeks and they don't want to make another dinner and they're tired, or, you know what I mean? Like the perimenopause, menopause, it's not like they want to do it on purpose. They don't have a healthy way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every woman at some point in their life has said, I'm going to ditch everybody. I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go live on an island and I'm just going to be by myself and no one will be able to bug me and I won't have to worry about anything. And then, of course, the next day you wake up and a lot of times you don't follow through with it. But a lot of times people do follow through with it. They're like, I'm done.
But if you had your family or your significant other or your best friend watch the movie that plays in your mind sometimes where you walk through the blowing up of your life, they would commit you. I mean, they would Baker act you so fast. I'm not trying to be lighthearted. I'm saying. Like,
I know.
If you ever had that, fantasy of like, what would it be like right now if all of a sudden, and I'm talking about young women, I can't even remember the TV show I was watching where the ladies were like, I just sometimes fantasize about being a widow.
Yeah.
You're like, you said that out loud. You can't say that out loud.
Right.
Right. I mean, sometimes you just, hormones are a funny thing and you can't overstate it enough.
Well, don't you think sometimes though, people are in a lot of pain.
Well, sure.
And so that's part of it. Like they're in so much pain, they don't see another way out. They're like, I'm just going to throw it all away. And like when your friend has said that to you, or I've had a friend that has said that to me, and I'm like, don't do it. Think about this. Like, let's talk it through. You don't want to make a rash decision that you may regret, and then you feed, you go back and forth and you kind of try to reason with somebody on why this may be a decision they haven't thought out really well. And I think that's why everyone needs a really good girlfriend to talk you out of some things sometimes. I mean, because what you feel, I always say this to my kids, what you feel in your 30s is going to be different than what you feel in your 50s. And what you feel in your 40s is going to be different than what you feel in your 60s. And everyone thinks they know best. Everyone thinks when they're at I know better. You don't understand. We've all said that too. You don't understand. And then I've had friends years later, like 15, 20 years later, say, I think I was in perimenopause or something because I kind of would have liked to be married to my first husband, the man who was the father of my children, versus someone who really doesn't really care much about my kids. He tolerates them, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
I just think sometimes people make rash decisions because there's so many reasons.
And some of that you have to think, some of that is going to be cleaning up your memory a little bit. Like maybe giving the guy a little more credit than he really is due, because hindsight is not really 20/20, to be honest. Sometimes hindsight, you remember people in a better light than that they really were. I mean, it's just like when someone breaks up with somebody who's a jerk, but all they can remember is that he was great, but I see your point in that there are a lot of people who are like, you know what, right now, he's just not doing it for me, or I'm just not, I can't live like this. And then, you're in your 50s, you're a homebody now, and he's healthy, happy, and living his best life. And you're like, man, I should have stuck it out.
Right.
I should have stayed.
Also, I think sometimes it's self-sabotage. Like when things are going really, 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 really well in your life, and all of a sudden you go, I need some drama, or I have to blow this up, or I don't deserve this, or whatever it is, you kind of self-sabotage anything good going on in your life.
Yeah, the drama, the butterflies, the drama, even being sad sometimes. When you're feeling nothing, feeling sad
is better than nothing.
It's better than nothing for some people. Now, I don't feel like in this group we need to do the disclaimer of like, really please seek professional help. And mental illness is very, big cause for some of this. But what we are saying is, if you're like, okay, that's not me, what I'm feeling is just angst and boredom, you're not alone.
Yes.
Hormones play a role, and certainly it's worth looking into that, looking into it with your physician,
Well, and also sometimes when you hit a certain age in your 40s and in your 50s, you think to yourself, is this all there is? Is that it? I mean, that's it. Mm-hmm. And and that's why people blow up their lives, because they think there's something better out there and they're missing out. And maybe they are. I mean, who am I to say? I have no idea. But sometimes you just think that way, but it may not really be true. You may not really be missing out on what you think. Sometimes, like, especially in perimenopause, you feel that way because you're like, oh my God, I'm not getting any younger. And I have like a few more years left till I have these great looks still. And then I'm going to just be some old, you know what I mean? You start talking to yourself like that.
Yeah. If I don't make this change now, I never will. No one's going to hire me when I'm 59.
Right.
But if I leave now, I have a chance of getting hired somewhere. Or, from a perspective of like telling someone off, I'm just not going to take it anymore. I'm too old to take so-and-so's BS. I'm just going to start telling them off. Well, you know what? Probably you should sleep on it. Probably you should write a letter and put it somewhere and don't send it.
Yep.
because right now your hormones are raging. And
Right.
and the same me that used to say, like, how dare you say, are you on your period every time I'm in a bad mood?
Right.
Because how dare you discount my real feelings and
Right.
say it's emotion? And this is the same me that's like, hey, I was hormonal.
Right.
Give me a break.
Right. Exactly.
It's kind of a hypocritical thing, but.
Well, I just think it's good that people are talking about this now, because I would have loved to have heard this when I was in my 40s and even early 50s. I think, when you're going through lack of hormones, things are going to go up and down and up and down. And you just need to, like you said, talk to someone, maybe get your hormones regulated, whatever is going on. But think before you do kind of blow up your life, because sometimes you can't go backwards.
To be honest, I used to feel a little confused about women's health, especially when it came to hormones. We would all hear about how important they are, but I never really fully got it till I got it. And then I learned for women, keeping hormones in a normal range is key for everything: energy, mood, even weight management. And that's when we heard about Hormone Harmony from Happy Mammoth. It's a plant-based formula created by a leading German nutrition scientist, and it combines 12 carefully chosen adaptogens. We love that it's free from GMOs and artificial fillers, just science-backed ingredients in every capsule. We love what you guys are saying, that since using Hormone Harmony, you feel more like yourself. Happy Mammoth has helped over 2.4 million women worldwide. The reviews are incredible. Over 50,000 women are talking about improved mood, better sleep, and feeling balanced again. If you want to try it, this is the perfect time. Get 15% off your first order of Hormone Harmony at happymammoth.com with the code UUPodcast. Uncluttered and Unfiltered is supported by Hearts for Minds. Can you imagine waiting 10 years to get screened for cancer? On average, people with mental health issues experience a 10-year delay between symptoms and seeking help, and close to 2/3 of mental illnesses go untreated. Hearts for Minds promotes healthy lives by promoting mental health education, facilitating early identification, and connecting people to treatment. Are you ready to learn more? Go to heartsforminds.org. That's hearts, the number 4, minds.org for more information and to learn how you can help.
And I also think a lot of times, well, there's a couple more things. One is, especially younger people, instant gratification. If you're not getting things instantly, then you're like, I'm out of here. I'm not happy. And it's like, what? We've only been together like a month or whatever it is. Or I didn't get the purse I wanted, or I didn't, whatever it is. It's always like, right now, what's going on in the world is instant gratification. And if not, you're leaving. It's over. I'm moving on. Back in our day, as you hear me say, back in our day, you didn't think like that as much. You didn't think, oh, well, I mean, things took time.
You couldn't get something the next day if you ordered it online. You couldn't order it online. You had to send away.
Right. Or you had to get up and go to the store. What a concept.
Horrible. What a horrible idea.
Right. And also, I think when people blow up their life, this is just my opinion, there's some trauma that has never been discussed, talked about, or anything. And so you don't know how to process, because you're kind of living through that experience all the time, over and over. And so you're like, screw it. I'm just going to blow up my life so I don't have to think about it. But what people don't realize is then you bring it into the next relationship, the next place you move. Because people are like, I'll move to a town like Mayberry RFD where nobody knows anybody and I can start fresh. And, and everything follows you wherever you go if it's like unresolved.
There is a story, and it's local to us. And I actually almost feel bad telling this story because I actually do know this woman and met her years after the fact, and she's very lovely. But you may remember this. It was on Dateline or some of those other shows.
I'll know then.
Yes, where she faked her own kidnapping.
Oh, the Sherry Papini one?
No, this woman is alive and well, living in our community.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to mention.
I don't want to say a name.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't say a name, but I actually took a fitness class from her a few years back. Then I put it together. I'm like, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
But it was a whole big thing where,
blew up her life.
Blew up her life, basically. And
bad blow up, too.
Met a dude, and they did a whole caper where there was a ransom demand on the husband.
It was it was a Sherry Papini.
Yeah, basically.
Basically. But that's unresolved trauma right there. Because why
that's
would
more than
anyone?
Just hormones. That's more than just hormones.
Right. Because
it was exacerbated by being in that point of your life.
Yep.
Where you're just perfect storm. Everything hits at once.
Yeah. I think that's very drastic, though, to do that to your kids, your mother, your husband. That's some drastic stuff there.
I'm saying that was drastic, but that is an example of just everything coming to a head.
Yeah.
Where, you're not thinking, obviously, past the moment.
Yeah.
You're like, this is what's going to get me through this moment versus what's going to happen in 15 years when these women do a podcast and they're still talking about it.
Exactly. I agree. I think that people don't stop, take a breath, think about what they're going to do. It, like I said, it still may be the right thing. And then at least you said, I did think about it. I really did. I thought about the consequences, but I'm still ready to do it. Well, I say then at least you thought it through.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of that movie. What was the movie with Bette Midler where, I think it was Bette Midler, where she was being held hostage and the guy was trying to negotiate and she's like, am I being marked down?
Right. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Or that movie Gone Girl.
Oh my gosh.
The same thing. She was setting this whole thing up to just blow up her life. So yeah. Those movies I like, by the way.
Those women are always in their 40s. They're never in their 50s, late 50s. They're always in their 40s.
Always in their 40s, which brings us to the perimenopause thing. So
exactly, that's my point. And I mean, there's no denying that varying levels of trauma in your past will get you to, will start the cycle. But there is a reason this is all happening in your 40s.
Yep, I agree.
So let's talk about something a little brighter. Let's talk about the other question before we get to your tip, your organizational tip.
Yep.
As long as, that was a question, that blowing up your life question was one we asked in our ladies only group. But there was another question we asked, and this was a just for fun question. And I found it somewhere and thought I'd share it. It was basically, what is something you own that you're fairly sure that nobody else in this group, meaning our uncluttered and unfiltered Facebook ladies only group, you're fairly certain nobody else owns, or probably not many people own. And of all the great answers we got, the one that I think wins the prize, if somebody is going to win a prize, was by a lady named Brandy, who says donkeys. I feel really sure that she's the only one in our group that has donkeys.
I
think
agree.
That's probably accurate?
Yeah, I don't know anyone that owns a donkey. That is unbelievable.
What do you think yours would be if you had to say like something that you own that you're pretty sure not everybody, not a lot of people in our group own?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people in our group own it, but I have 2 face masks, but I could buy another one tomorrow. Like the LED
having
mask.
multiple red light masks.
Yeah, I would use them.
More than one.
I have 2, and I definitely use both of them. I use them on alternating days. And I love it. I think that anything, I'm a new gadget kind of gal, and you'll hear in upcoming episodes. I love gadgets.
There's probably a gadget you have that's something nobody else has because they haven't heard about it yet. You probably have something there that isn't going to be new to us, I bet.
I have products that I have that I don't think people have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have monkey bars across the top of my garage.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I definitely don't have those. No how, no way.
I'm pretty sure nobody else in our group has that. Maybe.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. You let us know. But that's one of the questions we're asking. Now, I'm very excited. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tip of the week.
Tip of the week.
All right, what you got?
Group like items together. I say this all the time, and so I'm going to explain it a little bit. If you keep all your light bulbs together, all your batteries together, all your spaghetti sauce, jars of spaghetti sauce, all your pasta, all your green beans, keeping like items together saves time and it saves money. Whether it's in a bathroom with your makeup, keep all your mascara together, all your under eye cream together, because the minute you stop doing that, you are just inviting clutter into your home because you're rebuying more of the same thing because it's scattered all throughout and you can't remember you have it, and you buy more, and it takes you so much longer to get ready because you're always searching for something.
Okay, so let me give you an example of something that could go a couple different places. A sewing kit. Where would the sewing kit go? I mean, I only have one. I don't have anything else like it.
I don't sew, but if I did sew, I feel like I'd either keep it in my bedroom with other items like that, or I would keep an item like it. I mean,
tape
do you mean like a travel one? Like a little, I would keep it with travel stuff. I don't think, I mean, I think something like that. Now, if you're talking like you're a seamstress, right, well, that's a different story. Mm-hmm. But everybody has those little travel like sewing kits. Yeah. That should be in your hanging toiletry bag, your zipped up bag that you keep for all your travel stuff, with your travel items in a guest room. If you keep all your suitcases and off-season items, have a bin with a lid and label it travel. That's where those type of items go. Because if you don't, you'll never find it when you need it. I guess that would be if a button would fall off or you need to hem your pants. I would not have the talent to do that, but I know people do. And so that's something that I would do, is put it with travel items.
The reason I chose that item is that's the one thing that I never can find when I want it. Never. I had something ripped the other day and I was going to just sew it on up. I could not find that sewing kit. And I know I have it somewhere in this house.
Right. So, and that's my point. If everything has a home and if it's labeled and you keep all your like items together, you won't be searching. And searching is what takes up a lot of time. And it makes moms late to get the kids to school, dad's late, everybody's late looking for something. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's just a vicious cycle because you're constantly looking for something.
Okay. Well, that's an excellent tip. That is a good one. Like items together, make a note, make it a project until we meet again. Maybe if you have something that's just kind of randomly placed in your home, try to think about some other things that would fall into that category. I mean,
well, or start small. Like maybe this weekend, corral all batteries in your house, corral all light bulbs in your house, corral all rags, take one part of the weekend and just start corralling like items and putting them in bins and labeling them, or just put a Post-it note on it. If you don't have a label maker, do something, or a dry erase marker. You can write on any bin with a dry erase marker. And when you want to change it, just wipe it off with some water. It's simple, inexpensive, easy to do, but I'm telling you, it will save you time and money.
If you liked that tip, we do have entire episodes that focus on different areas of your home. So go back through our library and find the one that you most want to get organized. But moving forward, we're going to have one of these tips every single week. So we hope you like that. What can you do to support this podcast? Tell one friend. Just tell one friend. That's all we ask. There are all the other things that every podcast asks you to do, and those matter. They do. If you're the kind of person that leaves a star or gives a thumbs up, whatever, that helps. But mostly we just want you to invite more people into our circle and join us on our Ladies Only Uncluttered and Unfiltered Facebook page. And until we meet again, instead of lighting that match that's going to blow up your whole life, you can let it go.
And don't look back.
Get ready. Wayfair's biggest sale of the season is almost here. It's Black Friday in July, and it's coming your way. For 5 days only, score up to 80% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus amazing doorbuster deals and free shipping on everything. Yes, everything, right to your door. So mark your calendars. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale starts July 24th. Shop everything home at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're grinding out bicep curls or muscling the couch across the living room, crushing morning miles, or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, Smoothie King has fuel to help you maximize your workouts, own your recovery, and elevate your game. Give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs with a lineup of delicious smoothies made to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.